Welcome back to Sunday Night in America. Fighting in Gaza now involves a major hospital. Not because Israel is targeting the hospital, but because Israel alleges Hamas directs rocket attacks from the hospital. And Hamas has a tunnel complex under the hospital to further its terrorism. Yes, a command center for terrorism in a hospital. Meanwhile, more members of Congress have seen the footage from the Hamas attacks in early October. Members were reduced to tears, and some described what they saw as, quote, absolutely evil. Joining us now is Israel's acting consul general in New York, Aviv Ezra. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. What is the latest on this large hospital Israel believes is a command center for Hamas? And again, parts of the media tend to want to blame Israel.
Thank you for having me back, Trey. 100%, the question of the al-Shifa hospital represents exactly a microcosm of what is happening in the Gaza Strip. We have Hamas, a vicious terrorist organization, hiding in a hospital, like they're hiding in hospitals, like they're hiding in schools, like they're hiding in kindergartens, hiding behind innocent civilians of their own, using them as human shields, shooting at Israeli forces that are coming in, and later on, of course, complaining that Israel is shooting back. We have verified and have shared the evidence also, as you mentioned, with the media that we know that Hamas is running their command and control centers from beneath the hospitals. They have their weapon depots right there. They're using these locations in order to use, once again, these attacks against Israel. And what I'm sharing with you right now is not just Israeli intelligence. This was independently verified by the White House with a specific mentioning by the president saying very clearly what Hamas is doing is a war crime. What Hamas is doing is unacceptable, and Israel has the right by international law to defend itself and to shoot back when attacked, even from a location like a hospital. The location like this will lose its immunity if it attacks the forces that are coming in. And as I said, it was not just verified by Israeli intelligence forces, but actually by the White House that independently verified it.
Let me ask you about something I don't understand. You may not understand it either, but I'm trying to. Hamas uses civilians as shields, hospitals as fronts. They kill innocent women and children. And yet, there are so many young people, particularly in this country, that are seemingly siding, I don't want to say with Hamas, but they're certainly siding with the Palestinian cause, which at times is inextricably intertwined with Hamas. So why are we seeing this kind of my generation supporting Israel, but younger people kind of ambivalent on who to side with?
So I think there's a very small segment of the radical populations that, as you mentioned, they can support bin Laden and they can support Hamas. It's the same exact support. And when they call Palestine will be free from the river to the sea, best case scenario, they're ignorant because they don't know which river and which sea. But in the worst case scenario, they understand exactly that they're calling for the annihilation of the state of Israel. But as you mentioned earlier, what we see as a very broad support for Israel is not just from the public opinion. Last week, I attended an amazing rally in D.C., more than 300,000 pro-Israel, Jews and non-Jews, very calmly, very peacefully has supported Israel's right for self-defense. But more important than that, I have seen the executive branch and the legislative branch, including the speaker, including the minority leader, including the majority leader of the Senate, and forces from the Republican senators saying very clearly, A, no to anti-Semitism, B, Israel has the right to defend itself, and C, most importantly, Israel has the right to do whatever it takes to bring back our children that are hostages for more than 40 days now in the hands of these butchers, radicals, terrorist organizations.
You say do whatever it takes. It's been less than 2 months, and already there are calls for ceasefires and withdrawals, and those calls are getting louder. So we got about a minute. Share with our viewers exactly what Israel and the IDF hope to accomplish in Gaza and how long it might take.
Well, ceasefire will not be acceptable without the unconditional release of all of our hostages, including the 9-month-old, 2 years old, 4 years old, 6 years old, and many more. We will do what it takes. That means that our military campaign will be smartly addressed. We'll go deep into the Gaza Strip. We'll make sure that Hamas will be eradicated, and we'll make sure that we will bring back our hostages. Unfortunately, you have seen that they have butchered already 2 of the hostages that we managed to find. They were in the surroundings of the Shifa hospitals. Therefore, we have by the international law, by the law of war, the entire justification to go after these murderers and bring back our hostages.
Aviv Ezra, thank you for joining us on what is likely to be a protracted battle in Gaza, and we look forward to having you back at some point. Thank you for joining us on a Sunday night.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.